We're going live in a bit, everybody. We're going live. Everyone, how you doing? Welcome back. We're Web Squadron and we've gone live again. I hope you're all okay. I'm just going to change my screen because I bet you're all thinking what the heck is going on at the moment. Hey, welcome to Recruit. Hey, Charlie, how you doing? RP. So I've just had a question come through before we've even started saying, show in the next video how to arrange delivery from your workers, personal delivery service, and the connection with the site WordPress, CRM, and Telegram. Okay, I'll have a think about that. But yeah, that's quite an interesting topic. Yeah, so I'm sure we can definitely work something out for you on there. Okay, hope you're all okay. Just get the website open. There we go. Can you all see me okay? Because I always worry about the screen sometimes about is it actually showing what it's meant to be showing. But I think it is. But anyway, look, the focus of today is that we're going to be looking at Codepen. So I've only recently started using it. And I'm one of those people where the first time I used it, I was struggling to get the code to work. Codepen allows you to do some interesting things with your website. Things that you can't always do easily with Elementor buttons and things like that with CSS code. So I'm going to show you how we can do some pretty neat things using some code that's already written for you. Now, I'm not an expert coder, and I'm still learning how to apply CodePress or Codepen even. CodePress? WordPress and Codepen in a bit more of a succinct way. And as I learn, I will share a lot more. What's really interesting, though, is I'm just going to hide myself here for a moment. I went over to this website, cssbuttons.io, and they have got some really cool buttons here. I mean, just look at all of these button effects that we've got here. These are all, some of these, not all of them, sorry, I've got to be honest here, not all of them, but some of these are pretty snazzy in what they do. And I said to the person that creates this website, where do you go? You know, what's the best place to learn how to do all of these? And guess what they said? They went and said, go and watch this video. This video right now that I'm showing you. And I was like, that's me. That's my video. So the creator of this website referred me back to my own video to say, here's the best place to learn how to add stuff to your Elementor websites. That was an amazing compliment. Like, hold on. Did I just create a paradox in a way? Like, how do I do something, but I'd already solved it with my own little video? Yeah, thanks, Charlie. Thanks for letting me know that everything is loud and clean. Sorry if I sound like I'm shouting sometimes, because I'm using my MacBook microphone when I'm talking, and I'm never sure how it comes across. Well, I know it's okay. Now, using buttons like this, let me give you an example. So if we take this button here, this is like really crazy, isn't it, this button? If you click on it, you literally get given the HTML and the CSS code that you would be applying to your WordPress website. And it's so easy in the old days. What I would do is I would stick this HTML into a HTML widget like that. I'd stick it in. And then I'd go and stick the button in as well. Like so, you stick in a button. And then I'd go back to the Codepen, pick up the CSS and drop that onto the button. And I would sit there going, it's not doing anything. Well, it's completely broken. But that's because you don't need to do that. What you actually do is you just pick up the HTML because it's given to you. Go over to wherever your HTML was, which is over here. You just dump the code in. HTML you just drop in. Now, I will give you a word of warning about this in a moment, okay? You just drop it in and then you hit return. If you have any CSS, you must ensure that you put the word style, you know, angled brackets. So you got the opening style and then closing style, okay? And then what you do is you just pick up the styling code here, pick it all up, copy it, don't need to do anything else with it, and you paste it. And we now have a button. When I hover over that, there is the button, right? I mean, at the moment, that button is not going anywhere. Yeah, what you're going to have to do is add in a little bit of code. And if you refer to the video that I released yesterday, you'll see an example of the code. You add in your URL link. It might be to a pop-up, to another page, to a form, whatever you want, okay? And you can change the sizing and the lettering and stuff like that, okay? So that is so easy to do. But you just drop the code into the HTML and you have your button. It is so simple and easy to do. My word of warning, though, is that it is so easy to go to like Codepen or even do a search on Google. Show me the latest Codepen codes, and it will give you this dynamic, amazing stuff. But when you just stick it into your HTML, it doesn't work. You got to add in some JavaScript. Again, in the video, I show you how to do that. But it doesn't work. Because you got to load in some JavaScript or resources, and you got to do a bit more. So, although I love the fact that there is so much stuff you can get, this website is brilliant. It gives you what you need. No issues. The Codepen website, I feel like you got to be a bit more technically minded or a bit of an expert. So I'm still learning, and as I learn new ways to do things, I will share them as I go along. But this website is super, super good. I'm just going to double check the questions that are coming through. Yes, star content. So, I mean, it's like, let me show you this button here. You know, look, these little bits of movement, just doing something a little bit different on your website. And if you put in a URL link, you can actually go to a pop-up, open a pop-up, or it could go to a page. Some people have said, though, how do I get it to open a pop-up? What you do is you create a pop-up in Elementor. Then you go to preview, right? You know when you're previewing your page. Let's pretend this was a pop-up. Pretend. When you right-click it, you then would click copy link. This hasn't got it because there's no link. Stupid thing to do, right? You would copy the link. When you've copied the link, okay, and you follow the instructions here, where it says ahref equals, you would put in the bit after hashtag. So you're going to get a link and it will have loads of gobbledygook, and then it will have hashtag, your pop-up name, and then it'll have another bit of code. So you want hashtag pop-up name, whatever it is, and the code. You dump that there, and now you'll have a button that opens a pop-up. But it will now look how you want it to look. And I think that some of these buttons are... I mean, I just think some of these effects, you know, they are so good. By the way, though, I have found, though, that when you apply it once in your website, don't be surprised if every other button in your website mirrors that. So just be a bit careful if you need to start doing CSS class names and stuff like that. But if you're happy with a button style, just go with it, okay? Yes, Charlie, add them tomorrow. But like I said, Charlie, have a play, have a think about the buttons that are useful to you. Don't just add a button for the sake of it. You know, have a think about what fits your brand. You know, because I would say like I don't know, look at this button here. It's it looks like a 1980s, hey, clicky button. Great, love it. However, if your website is not 3D orientated, so you now have to ensure that everything in your website has a shadow effect. Otherwise, that button is going to look totally out of place. But like I said, play around with it. And like when you take this button here, can you see over here, we have the code. So if you decide if you want to like change the text to be, let's go for, or be, I don't know if this will work actually, Orbitron. Did that work? I don't know if that actually worked actually. I probably have to run something else now. But anyway, when you do stuff like that, you can actually change your colors when you add it into your HTML. So always have a think about what is going to work for your website. Now, what else is really, really cool about this is, I mean, look, there are so many different button styles on here, right? Whenever have you had a page that just gave you everything, but it doesn't stop there? We also have, I really hope the designer of this goes further, like eventually with more Codepen, because what they do works. Super easy and it works, okay? Hey, John, how you doing? By the way, you know, if you want a step-by-step process on how to apply these to your website, make sure you watch yesterday's video, which is over here. Okay, this one, Elementor, add Codepen Codes, And a button. Super easy. Make sure you watch that, okay? Make sure you tell everyone you know to watch that so we get like 1 million hits. Or not. We also have checkboxes, right? I mean, look at this. Checkbox. Checkbox. In fact, we'll change it to popular because I like this one here. You know, you fill it in it. There's a little bit of movement there. And there's not many here, okay? But again, this is the great thing. You can go in and start to mess around with it a little bit, okay? And you can totally like customize it and start to make it unique to what you want. We've got a border radius on here. Yes, we have. Let's go for 100. Do you know what I mean? Like, look, you can totally now make this unique and work for you. Change the color schemes. Now, obviously you're going to want that button when you tick it to do something. I mean, I would say you could add this to a website. Okay, say over here, down here, whatever. And you might have a tick list. So you might say, someone actually asked this question on the Elementor Facebook community group. I think it's about 4 months ago. And I was like, I'm not sure. They said, I want to have a section on my website where I'm going to say, are you fed up of your job? Are you feeling like you want to learn? Do you want to make loads of money? And they wanted a tick box. The tick box doesn't activate anything. It's just a tick box, like an interactive tick box. At the bottom, then you have a button that says, click here to find out more. Oh, I can help you do loads of stuff, right? This now is the perfect way of adding a interactive tick box button, right? This is now super easy. You just do. No extra plugins required, remember. Okay, we're keeping it clean. This is a super easy way to do it. Now, when I learn and understand how to do it so that when you click it, it might activate something. It might, I mean, you could, if you want, turn this into a URL. So the minute you tick it, it might open a pop-up. So again, have a think about this. Again, use the video we sent. It gives you the URL or the code to do a pop-up. So what you could do over here is, sorry, I'm jumping around a bit, aren't I? You can have a button, you can have a tick box like that, checkbox, and it might say, do you want to lose weight? Right? You click it, and then a pop-up appears that says, and then it might have a button saying, find out more, buy this product. Do you want to learn how to swim? Click it, and then it pops up with a video or something, right? So you could implement and use these on your website in so many different ways. Yes, and Charlie has said, John has said, congratulations on reaching 2,000 subscribers. Yes. We hit that quicker than I expected. I thought we wouldn't get there until the end of December. So the plan now is to hit 3,000 by the end of December. But, please tell your children, your friends, pay them. I will not pay you, but if you can pay them to subscribe, brilliant. I mean, I'm not meant to say pay them, am I? Because that's kind of against YouTube rules and regulations. But if you want to pay them, that's up to you. Thank you very much, everyone. And I'm so glad the feedback I get from all of you about the videos and what you want to see us developing and doing. We're just here to help you out, and there's a few things I'm investigating at the moment that once I crack them, really cool, exciting videos coming out will be coming out. So, checkbox buttons, I think you could super implement this on your website now, so it doesn't have to do anything other than just be a checkbox for interactivity, or to open a pop-up, or even the minute they click it, it takes them to a page or something else. So it's just another way of doing buttons. But let's not stop there. This is the cool bit, right? This is where your mind's just going to go. Mine did. Toggle buttons, right? Look at this one. Enabled, disabled, left. Sorry, right, left. I mean, look at this one, this little switch. Doesn't that remind you of like the old days? Oh, Bertha, look at this. This is super cool. I mean, this is my favorite button. That is just so like, takes me back many decades. That does. And again, super buttons. Again, once I crack or understand, and if anyone knows how to do this, please drop me an email explaining how you do this. And I'd love to, do a video, and I will name check and mention, where it came from as part of collaboration. But I'm going to try and work out, well, if you add one of these in, how do you then, you know, how to explain it? You can have a pricing table, right? Pricing table? Yeah, pricing widget. And you might say, I don't know, you might have 3 different pricing plans. And you might say monthly, here's the cost. Annually, here's the cost. So you can show different costs. You know, most websites do that, right? But now we have the code to do the button, and potentially just using your normal Elementor pricing widget, you can now add that to your website. And again, this is a way of adding in something without any extra plugins. I was going to say code, but we are using code. I will just double check it. Yeah, thanks, Dan. Sometimes I think I'm a little bit too enthusiastic. I think in the live chats, I just kind of go blur like that and all over the place. I think in my videos now, I'm trying to be a bit more reserved in them. I'm not as entertaining, mainly because I know there's lots of people from around the world where English isn't their first language and they've slightly struggled even with subtitles. So I'm trying to ensure that I keep it methodical, to the point, and easy to understand. And on the live chats, I just kind of go, there, whatever, you come along, and if you like it, you stay, and if you don't like it, you'll still come again anyway. But like I was saying, with the pricing table or the widget, this is a great way to do it. Now, there is a plugin called Unlimited Unlimited Elements. Unlimited Elements? Is it Unlimited Elements or UE, Unlimited Elements, right? Where you do have the functionality to do widget creating. That does, if I won't show it to you, but what that does is it allows you to drop in the HTML code, the CSS code, and the JavaScript code as well. And it kind of works in the same way. The beauty about it, though, is that you actually create a widget. So where we did this button and we dropped in the HTML code, you would drop it in and you could create a widget. So it would now be visible over here. So you'd always have it available to you. And as you know, you can now right click and add to favorites. So it's always going to be there for you. So it now becomes a global widget in effect. So there are ways to do that. I did find the limited elements a little bit fiddly in that some codes I created here just by dropping them worked flawlessly. Did it on limited elements and they didn't work. So I'm still trying to experiment and get the best out of Codepen as much as I can. Charlie has said, can you use the checkboxes when using JetForm Builder? Well, because it's HTML, I don't see why not. And as long as you can use HTML in JetForm Builder, you should be fine. But I will say, if you are stuck, go and ask the CrocoBlock community, okay, about the HTML side. I don't really use CrocoBlock, I have to be honest, got nothing against them. They're a great team, you know, great people. Lana Myro, she's great on the blogging side of things. I haven't had a massive need to use Jet widgets or plugins at the moment yet, but definitely check with them. But HTML should be fine. I can't see why not. I just want to show you another little widget here, which I thought was really cool. So like I said, I'll come back onto what I just said about super cool. When you go searching for Codepen Codes, be careful. You're going to see something and go, wow, right? Whoa, this is beautiful. And then you dump in the code and it does not work. And you mess around with it, does not work. And you pull your hair out. You go to Unlimited Elements, dump the code in, still doesn't work. So don't get your heart too excited when you find something, because if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And you're going to maybe need to speak to an expert or someone. One of the annoying things about Codepen, and I don't know how many of you feel about it, is that if you ever do go to Codepen, and I'll just show you, Facebook, we're not on Facebook, are we? No, let's go to codepen.io. This probably won't work now, okay, because I was already on it earlier doing, in fact, there's one of them. So this is the new cool one I'm going to show you in a moment, just how it works. This is the name of the person who created it. What they do here is they just give you the code. And sometimes in here, it might say you need to load something else. And you might not have realized that. And that's why Unlimited Elements helps you. What I find though is that sometimes the CSS style they've given you there is not enough. You have to do something extra. But there are no notes. There are no, I mean, there's comments, but the comments are like just telling you about copyright. And that's it. And I really wish that the developers of these put a bit more effort into explaining what you need to do. And they maybe thought about the fact that you've developed this. We want to applaud and say you've done a fantastic job. Just help us out a bit and, you know, just say, put the code here, do this. You might need to think about a little bit of this and that as well. Because they don't often give you that. Because you're going to check the... Hey, Aaron, is it Arendum? Hope you're okay. Thanks for joining in. So I'm just going to take this bit of code here. And you'll notice in the HTML, they've got the names over here. So they've put their name in. So if I was to literally get rid of, say, I don't know, let's just have that. Let's just get rid of half of it. We will only have Zio like that. Yeah. If we now go over to the let me just get rid of this section here. If we go to the HTML, I'm going to drop the code in. Just drop the HTML in. Don't do anything else. Then you type style with angled brackets. You get the closing code. You then go over and you get the CSS, right? Now this is not going to work, by the way, okay? Because obviously my screen is white and you dump the code in. Nothing is there. Where's it gone? That's because my section at the moment. Let me just change this to be a black section. No, we won't go for black. Let's go for a murky greeny color like that. There we go. In fact, let's just add in a bit of padding as well. Let's go for 100 and 100 like that. In fact, I should have done it like that. There we go. 100. Look at that. You now have this, and that was just code I dumped in, right? You want to change the wording or the lettering for this. We go over here and you would now change it to be, let's change it to be, sorry, I've just got to change my screen a bit because I'm a little bit tight over here. Whoops, days. I'm just going to change this to say what, okay? Nothing majorly exciting, just what, right? If you want to add in another word, so if you need to copy the line above, paste it down, and then make sure you change the number. It's incremental numbers in this code, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll put an exclamation mark there. What? Now you will notice there's a reflection down here. What if I don't want the reflection? Well, I think if I go down here, I think it's this bit here, transparent. I think it's that. I think it's that. No, it's not that. It might be that still. This is where I'm now getting a bit confused with which one it is. I think it's this one. So if I do that, there you go. So by getting rid of that line, there, I've now got it without the transparent. And what's really cool about this is if you scroll down, no, if you scroll up, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. If I change this to be 4, right, like that, and I change this one to be 2, and I change this one to be 3, they're now out of sync. Look at that. So I can actually mess around with the order, but that's because the code has been provided for us over here. So you can now mess around with it. You know, font size. You know, I could go in here and go, let's do 600. This is now going to look, in a moment, this is going to change to be, look at that. Ridiculously big. Why did I do that? Silly me, right? So Codepen is a super duper way of just having something just a little bit different on your website. You know, it's almost like there are some almost what I would call a Lottie animation. And I have seen some stuff that's just made me go, whoa, how did you do that? Because everything is code at the end of the day in some way or the other, right? Bits, 1110, 11111. But they don't work, all of them. So word of warning, don't go out there and just grab Codepen Code expecting it to work. It doesn't always work, okay? Just checking here, notes. Dan just saying, I'm anxious to test Elementor's upcoming Flexbox abilities. Yeah, so I haven't gone too knee deep into playing around with it yet. Mainly because once it's fully out, I want to kind of just test the theory of, okay, so loads of websites we've built in the past, I don't want to have to change them because I've got happy customers and it's going to take a long, long time to change loads of websites. So as long as we don't have to change them, we should be okay. And I've been told we don't have to change them. So we should be fine. But going forwards, I think it's going to be a great way to start building websites. I mean, I do find, though, that when I'm building now, most of the time, I tend to use just one column. And when I add my items in, so I might have added in, let's add in a button. And let's add in a icon, like that. I tend to now just go to advanced, and I go to positioning, put them as custom. You know, and so I then rearrange them so I'm not having to do too many intersections. Or if I wanted to have 3 items, I used to have 3 columns. You have widget per column. So I'm now trying to get to the point where, well, I don't need to get to the point. I'm already doing it. I now have just custom positioning. And I find that works so much better. But I'm looking forward to seeing, though, how the whole flex starts to work a little bit more, and experimenting and playing around with it. And is it going to make things quicker? Some people have said you now have to be a bit more of an expert, but I just think that if you have the right training and you kind of are taught how to do things, you'll kind of just pick it up and do it. Because you could almost say when you first started using Elementor, you weren't an expert in it. In fact, I bet a lot of people, just like me, had never even considered or even really understood EM, REM, VW, what? You know, VH, all of these little things. You know, I was used to HTML. Then when I read about CSS, I was like, isn't that HTML? And someone went, no, it's not. It's a different thing. How dare you? And I was like, yeah, but they kind of are the same thing, aren't they? But so I think there's things we are going to learn. And I'm pretty sure that when it rolls out, I'll have a video. WP Tuts will have a video. Maxim will have a video. 30 will have a video. There'll be videos galore. So, and Elementor. I mean, come on, right? Elementor, they are putting out some really, really good videos, right? And I'm sure there will be step-by-step instructions on what we need to do and how to do it. But yes, as long as they don't, yeah, like Dan is saying, they're still going to support it. As long as they don't force you to change what you've got before. Because if you've built websites for people and they've paid you, and some of them are now no longer with you, or they pay you a maintenance fee, and it took you like 2 or 3 weeks or a week to build their website, and suddenly you got to change everything to Flex because of a new update in 4 years' time. Probably not that long, but you know, in the future, that's going to cause a huge headache. And I don't think a lot of my clients are going to be happy if I turn around and go, hey, I installed Elementor, but yeah, we're going to have to change it now because of all these changes, and you're going to have to pay me more. So hopefully things will still be okay. Arindam has said, could you guide how to use custom field on Elementor lead generation form? So, I mean, so do you mean that, I mean, I'm not going to take up a lot of time on here, Arindam, but are you talking about where you like just, so if we stick a form in, let's just stick a form in here. Are you talking about just adding in another field, like down here? Is that what you mean? Because, that's about all I would do, really. You just add in your field and then you name it to be what you want. So let's call it, it might be a text field, and I'm going to call it fave movie, right? Or whatever you want to call it, and then they'll fill it in with whatever they want. I don't know if that's your question, though. Ooboy, Dan has said, will certainly have something as he introduced GSAP locomotive scroll in his plugin. Yeah, Ooboy's always got stuff coming out. I used to use Ooboy's steroid plugin quite a lot when I first started using Elementor. I have to be honest, I stopped using it once I got Elementor Pro, and I built everything with Hello and Elementor Pro, mainly because if I really had to use a feature from Ooboy or QI or Happy or Unlimited Elements or any of them, I would try and see, can I do it without using a plugin? And if I had to, I would go and use it. Eric, Elementor have great videos, helped me a lot, as well as just, hey, thank you, Eric. I think Elementor have really upped their game in the last month, probably 2 months, in fact, with their videos, the team they've got now. And I think that's because they've realized that, you know, they want to have focused videos. And to be honest, that's the reason I don't use Divi, Oxygen, I won't even be using Gutenberg. I know people are saying one day Gutenberg will be bigger and better. I don't think that's ever really going to happen. I'll tell you why. Elementor does not create bloat. If you look after your website, and I've done tons and tons of videos on this, okay? If you're careful with what you build, you know, and use the right plugins like Auto-Optimize or stuff like that, get rid of Google fonts, your website will work super, super fast and be fine, right? This thing about Elementor being bloaty is not completely true. And I think every time Elementor improves, sorry, Gutenberg improves, Elementor is still like way up there, right? I know there's stuff they're working on that will be coming out, and I can't wait to see it in motion. Like the mega menus, where is it? Arindam says no. So what his question was about custom fields on Elementor lead generation forms. He wanted to know about adding mobile number with prefixes as +91 on the field. Ah, right. Okay. I can't remember. I'll be honest. I cannot remember how to do this. But there was someone who did mention something about that 3 weeks ago on the Facebook community group. You might need to do a search for it. But I'm pretty sure what they did was, if I just find number like that, I'm sure they did. I can't remember what it was. They did something where they put in a bit of code or something. I think, no, was it like that? They did something. I just cannot remember what it was. They dropped in a bit of code somewhere. And what it then did was, it basically meant there was a prefix field there for you. I don't think it was a number field, in fact. I think that's the wrong one. Was it number? So look, I'm going quite... No, telephone. Was it telephone? And then they did they did something, right? And, yeah, I can't remember what it was. But if you do a search on the Facebook community group, or do a check on Google as well, someone did work out how to do that. And in fact, someone did work out a way of how to, based on your location, add in the correct country code. However, I think you've got to have Google Location API enabled as well. So there's a bit more of a long-winded process for that. But have a check on the Elementor Facebook community group. Just do a search for telephone country code or something like that. Or double check Google or ask the question. Someone did put a solution up. But so if you can't find a solution, just put the question up, okay? Someone will find it. Arindam says they're really happy with... my pro level Elementor WordPress video. He shares them as a reference to some of his students. Wow! Thank you so much for that. And you know, if your students have questions, make sure they subscribe, share, and follow. No, let us know, okay? You know, please do put comments in. I always reply to every single comment. To let people know. Erica said, did I do a video about LMS with Elementor Pro? Well, guess what, Eric? Yes, I did. In fact, and I'll just quickly show you that. So if I go to the channel, by the way, if you do go to our website, websquadron.co.uk, we are going to be starting very soon our challenge, 5-day challenge. It's free, totally free, on how to start building websites and things to think about. So we go to video on my channel and you search for LMS, you will find it here. So creating an LMS site with Elementor. Elementor LMS courses. So I'm going to tell you which is the best one to go for. No, it is this one here. So create an LMS site. Yeah. So I've got quite a few videos on LMS. I'm going to say to you though, pick and choose whichever one you want to go for, to be honest. Yeah. I'm going to just quickly open this one. Stop the sound from coming through because the sound will come through. I'm going to drop it there. But have a look at that one. I mean, I will recommend, you know, that Paid Membership Pro is free and a fantastic way to do selling courses, monthly subscriptions via PayPal for free using Paid Membership Pro. It's a free plugin, right? So you can do paid membership, monthly, one-off. You can even have free membership. So people can join for free and they can only have access to whatever content you've allowed as per their membership. Brilliant. So you can have a page that's got your courses and your content. We're deviated away from Codepen, haven't we? Totally, but who cares? So you could be selling content for your courses and they can now, once they've subscribed, have access to those pages. Or, I really must mention this, a video we released 3 days ago. Hey, welcome back. Let me just silence it. So there is a plugin, this plugin here, okay, page restrict. Let me just post it down here, right? And let me explain what it does. Let me explain what it does, everyone. Stay with me. So basically what it does is, and I've posted it there, you could now have a product in your shop. Doesn't even have to be on a shop, right? It could be a shop, well, it could be a shop page where you're selling courses, or it could be a page, you know, just showing whatever, and then you got a button that says buy the course. Because you know how you can use dynamic tags to link it to a product, right? And I'll show you how to do it in one of those videos as well. And when someone purchases that product, then they have access to a page. So you could be selling 10 courses, right? And you've created 10 pages on your website, but no one can access it until they have bought the course. What? So again, you don't need Tutor LMS or Lifter Press or Learner Press or lift your weights and jump around and, you know, do a little dance. You don't need any of that. Okay, I'll be honest. My solutions don't give you quizzes, doesn't give you certificates, right? You're going to build your course like an Elementor page with like accordion and toggles and videos and however you want to do it. It's entirely up to you. But you have the power and control. And if you really want quizzes and you really want certificates, then just get a free plugin, which is going to be pretty lightweight. Whereas Lifter and you know, Tutor LMS and all of them, they're pretty big, hungry plugins. And they will slow down your website. I don't care what anyone says, they will slow down your website, right? But now you're doing everything within Elementor. You're in full control. So just checking the questions down here. Tiara, is that your name? I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. Much love from Africa, Nairobi, Kenya. Whoa! I've always wanted to go to Kenya. I don't think I ever will go because I don't go in much places. My last holiday was 11 years ago to Hong Kong. 11 years ago. I don't even like going out to the shops. I just live in this little room. He's also a WordPress content creator on YouTube. He loves watching other creators. Please drop me an email. Let me know your channel. I would love to look you up and see what you're doing. What I'm trying to say is that if you really want to do some like an LMS website, have a go just doing it with Elementor, right? Because you're in full control over your page. You got all your widgets here. You could have, you know, I mean, let me explain the way I do it. I use the accordion, right? Okay, whoops, that didn't work. Why did that not work? Right, so I've got the accordion, okay? I've got a video that allows the first accordion to always be shut when you first open. So they're not automatically opening the very first one. Within each accordion, over here, I will dump a template shortcode, right? That template shortcode will be from a template in Elementor. And that template will contain my course material, my videos. It might have a PDF, whatever I want. So I could have like a video. I could have subject 1 or module 1, which is understanding the internet. And when you open it, then you have all of the content within. You might have module 2, which contains videos and this and that and whatever you want. Questions, you know, anything you want. One thing I will say though, if you are ever going to do videos, my big recommendation is you use Presto Player. Presto Player is free. There is a premium version, but you don't need to use the premium version. Presto Player, you stick your videos onto YouTube, right? You stick them onto YouTube. You make sure the videos are unlisted, right? So no one can find them if they search. You then put the video, you then install Presto Player. You put the URL into Presto Player. Remember, it's free. And it will then give you a video on your channel, on your website, showing the video really nicely. You can do full screen, whatever. But here's the great thing. It's free. You cannot right click and get the URL for the video. Just think about that for a moment. You cannot steal the content. So if you've got a course video, sorry, I must mention this, right? You know this plugin here, Page Restrict for WooCommerce? Because someone has to buy this, a product, to access the course, they have to log in to access the course. So if they decide to share their login with their friends will now have access to their credentials, which they might not want to share. So again, they've logged in, they've gone to the page, they can now see the video. They can't right click, steal the video and give it to their friends. They have to pay for it. Now, of course, let's be honest here. Anyone could go to a video, do a screenshot and steal the video. If anyone does that, I'm really sorry. There's not much you can do about that, right? Anyone can do that. You can go to any website. There's a premium video. Oh, you got to pay for it to download. You could, if you want, just do a screenshot or screen capture and record it. And there you go. But the security levels you get with Presto Player and some of these plugins, which are free. Anything I can find for you that's free is great for me and great for you and great for your clients. Because clients don't like spending a lot of money on websites, right? But if you can give them something extra that helps them out, win-win for them, win-win for you. And remember, because this question crops up a lot, and I'm going to remind everyone again, if you've got clients and they like what you did, tell them, if you refer your friends and family to me, and they tell me it came from you, and they use me to build a website, I will give you 5% of the build cost. 10%, 5% of the build cost. Or maybe you might say, depending on what you charge, so you might say, we will give you $50, £50, whatever back for the website build. So they make money by referring to you. If it is a successful referral, you don't pay them just for every referral they give you, only if it's successful. So that's a great way to win more business, right? Happy client, happy family, happy restaurant, happy lamb biryani. Okay, go and enjoy yourselves, right? Dan is saying you need to get more out. Welcome to Kenya, Tiara says. One question Eric said, though, what if you don't have a YouTube channel? Right, this person here, right, whose website we built, also did not have a YouTube channel, right? They did not have a channel. You don't need a channel. You just sign into YouTube, you create a channel, you make the channel private so no one knows about it, and then you upload your video. You know, you go over here, look, you upload a video. And when you upload it, when it says how do you want to release it, public, private, unlisted. Don't do private, do unlisted. Unlisted means no one's going to find it unless you give them the URL. So that's what you do. You don't have to have a channel. This is just if you want to like get the I'm going to put it back onto this page. Sorry, back onto this page because this is the one that was like the really funky stuff that I wanted to show off really. So that's what you do. So you can do it without having a channel. Okay, don't worry about that. Hey, RP, your message is gone. What was that? I didn't even read it. 2 minutes left, everyone, before I sign off. That is probably the quickest 45 minutes of my life. Just flew by. So has anyone else got any questions or anything they want to really talk about in terms of just basically any quick questions? Hopefully Elementor based. Remember, tomorrow is the Elementor Community Day. If you haven't signed up for it, please do. I'm doing a couple of talks on there. One about mapping out your site, and another one where I'm part of a panel. I don't even know what I'm talking about on there, but I'll be there. There'll be loads of tips and hints and stuff. Please do sign up and go. It's free. The Elementor people are going to be giving away 5 Elementor Pro licenses. I don't know how, but make sure you watch that. And please do remember, if you haven't already, go over to our website, Web Squadron. I can't even spell Web Squadron Co. UK. Go over to our website, okay? Scroll down and you will see a button there for a 5-day challenge. Go in, sign up, you know, join in. You know, it's free. What have you got to lose other than the fact you're going to be talking to me? And we may fall out, hate each other, and never talk again, and never share Christmas cards. But look, time's running out now. Thank you everyone for joining in, though. Yeah, it does mean a lot to me. The very first time I started this, I only had like 1 or 2 people, and bit by bit, it's grown and grown with people joining in. I love doing these. I feel like it's another way of interacting and engaging with you all, keeping it real. I know there are lots of other YouTube people out there that have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, and when they release a video, they get like 10, 20,000 hits in a day. I'm still chugging along, but I like to engage and work with all of you. And I don't just want to be a video. Hey everyone, how you doing? I am a real person. I have feelings, and I love working with all of you and finding new ways of how we can make Elementor work for you much, much better. So I'm going to sign off now in a moment. But it's great that you're all here. Thanks again, John, for being here. John's always here. You know, I feel like I take too much of his time up. Yeah. But thanks, Arindam, Eric, Tiara, RP, all of you, Dan, everyone for joining in. And take care. And oh, Charlie as well. I forgot you were there, Charlie. And I'm so glad I was able to help you out recently as well with helping some questions and stuff. And I hope you're feeling, well, you're just progressing with your website, because you're doing really well, my friend. Cool. All right, everyone, look, take care. I shall see you all soon. And well, take care.